And good evening once again, everybody. From Mercedes, Texas, along with Jake Berry, I'm Scott Harrison. It is Mercedes Tigers football as they host the Nicky Rowe Warriors. And at the end of one half of play, we see that it is the homestanding Tigers trailing Rowe. Score is 10-7. If you're just tuning in, it was Nicky Rowe getting on the board first with a field goal as they connected on one by their quarterback, Jesus Sanchez. And then, of course, it was time for the teams to score some touchdowns, and that is where we are right now. Again, looking forward to a big second half of play, and we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight to enjoy our broadcast. Along again with Jake Berry, I'm Scott Harrison. We were talking about the first score, a 13-yard field goal by Jesus Sanchez with about 8:18 remaining in the opening half. Then later on in the half, Fabian Ledesma catches a pass from Mark Ledesma and goes 29 yards for the score. Yes, Zach Gomez is not playing quarterback tonight. He's not at the game. We'll miss this game. And again, hopefully he'll be back later on in the year, but is not playing tonight. And again, a 29-yard touchdown for Fabian Ledesma. Then late in the first half, Freddie Ayala, he had a 15-yard pass from Jesus Sanchez for the score to give the lead to the visiting Rowe Warriors. Of course, Sanchez doing a good job this year. Last week in the win over Edinburgh, he completed 20 out of 26 passes for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. And, of course, already has 1 touchdown pass tonight. We'll wait and see how the team counters the Mercedes Tigers as they get the ball first to open the second half. A little pooch kick, and Mercedes will fall on the ball at their own 45-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 45-yard line. And got to meet the PA announcer. We always talk about how he does a good job here at Mercedes. Chano came by and said hi, and we said we always appreciate the job he does. He always keeps the crowd excited here.
Recovering the kickoff, that was number 9, Eric Hinojosa.
And so
Under center, number 3, Mark Ledesma.
Mark Ledesma, again, will be at quarterback here in the second half. His nephew will be the running back, Fabian Ledesma. Will have a slot right to begin the second half. And the ball will be handed off. And a big tackle.
Ready by your quarterback, number 3, Mark Ledesma.
And actually, Ledesma kept the ball, and he got to the 50-yard line, but he got tattooed.
Yeah, well, he left the ground.
Yeah, left the ground. Kind of a somersault there at the 50-yard line on the tackle. And they're going to mark it at the 49.
Second down, 2nd and 6.
They'll give him 5 on the play, so right around midfield, it's going to be 2nd and 5. 5-yard gain on that run by Mark Ledesma to begin the second half of play. Ledesma this time will hand it off to his nephew, Fabian Ledesma, and Fabian Ledesma will get about almost 5 yards. He'll be very close to the first down. We're going to call 3rd and 1 and give him a rush of 4 yards. He is in the territory of Nicky Rowe, down around the 47-yard line. And among those in on the tackle is the leading tackler for the Rowe last year, Frank Delgado, a linebacker. So here it comes, 3rd and 1 at the 47. And this time the quarterback will keep the ball, and he is going to get down to the 40-yard line, running right. And he keeps it for 7 yards. So it is going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 40-yard line. Nice run around the right side of 7 yards.
And you have to remember, at the time that Nicky Rowe got the ball back, Mercedes was hot, and they were hoping to get the ball back. And Nicky Rowe did a great job of continuing that drive and getting that late score.
We have trips on the left side, 1 wide out right, 1 back in the spread formation for Ledesma. This time he'll throw it over on the left side, across the field. Short gain of about 2 yards. Joe Garcia got the pass. Gains 2. Remember, Garcia had the 1 touchdown last week against Cal Allen. That was good for 10 yards. But this will be a 2-yard gain this time. Among those in on the tackle, well, we'll see in a minute. Isaac Mata was one of them, a defensive end for Nicky Rowe. So it'll be 2nd and down and 9 at the 39-yard line. The Tigers going from our right to left here in the 3rd quarter of play. Slot right this time. 2 backs in the backfield. It'll be handed off, and not much gain at all, maybe 2 yards up the middle that time by Fabian Ledesma. So good defense. And among those on the stop, Nate Hernandez. Remember, we talked about Hernandez. He also runs the ball on offense sometimes. They use him both ways, on the defensive line and on offense. So it is going to be a gain of 1 yard on the play. 3rd down and 8 from the 39-yard line. 10 minutes remaining, third quarter. 10-7, Rowe leading, dropping back to pass. It is Ledesma. Ledesma tries to find a receiver open around the 8-yard line, but it's incomplete. Double team that time. Good defense.
And it's probably the wrong read. There's a player hurt for Rowe on that one. There was 3 players around him when he released the ball. When you got a safety and 2 corners, or a safety and a linebacker and a corner right there, you don't want to try to thread that needle in there, especially when you're just licking your chops for the first time at the quarterback position.
So again, 4th and 8 coming up at the 39-yard line. Opening possession of the third quarter for Mercedes. Going to be a penalty on the play against Rowe. Roughing the passer. So they put on pressure, maybe a little too much pressure, Jake.
Yeah, but you see Mercedes is coming out with 2 backs. They're bringing 2 backs in there, and they're almost doing like a max protect on Ledesma, giving him more time. They're not rolling him out as much as they did in the first half right now in this opening drive.
Ball up to the 24-yard line on the penalty. It's going to be 1st down and 10. Again, Mercedes in Nicky Rowe territory. And we'll get back to play. Slot left. As again, 2 backs in the backfield protecting Ledesma. Ledesma gets it over to the back in the end zone, and it's a touchdown.
No, they're saying no touchdown. They're saying no touchdown.
All right.
So
we tried.
Yeah, we're trying.
We tried to help the Tigers there. So it would have been a 24-yard touchdown. Pass was intended for Matthew Ledesma. Mark was trying to throw to his brother, but 2nd and 10 instead.
We'll watch the
again,
replay real quick on this one.
Protecting
It goes over the
Ledesma.
top.
Ledesma gets it over to the back in the end zone, and it's a touchdown.
No, they're saying no touchdown.
Back there. Among them, Alex Lopez. 2nd down and 10 at the 24-yard line. Back to pass. Mark Ledesma. This time he's going to run right. Gets toward the sideline, and he is tackled. Good lateral pursuit on that play. And there's going to be a loss on that play of about 5.
And those plays, a new quarterback, you want to throw that ball away. You're already there. You're at the sideline. Throw it out of bounds. Live to fight another day right there. And now you're back almost out of field goal range.
And it looked like one of the players on the tackle was Michael Vega for the Warriors. So it's going to be 3rd and 15 at the 30-yard line. 9:07 remaining. Opening possession of the second half for the Mercedes Tigers. Back to pass, out of the shotgun, of course, is Ledesma. Drops it off in the backfield, and nothing doing that time. Going to be another loss back to the 40-yard line. It was to Fabian Ledesma. But again, loss.
On the tackle, number 43.
On the tackle that time, number 43, a defensive end.
It's going to be on Bosques. So I won't try to pronounce his first name. We'll have to get some clarification on that one.
All right, it's going to be 4th and 22 at the 38-yard line. Slots each side. This time 1 back in the backfield.
It looks like they're going to punt.
Okay, a little pooch kick coming up. It'll be by Ledesma. And Ledesma will get it out of bounds inside the 10-yard line, it looks like. We'll have to see where they mark it. Nice kick. And the kick will be out at about the 7.
Yeah, it's a good
Mark
kick.
did a nice job. And, of course, Zach Gomez did a nice job last week doing the pooch kicks, too. So who's ever in a quarterback can also do the pooch kicks.
Yeah.
I think Ledesma, too, Mark does the long punts in typical, traditional formation. So when they do traditional punts, Mark will do that. So even if Gomez was playing, probably Ledesma would do most of the punting. But this time it's going to be 1st and 10 for Nicky Rowe, back in the shadow of their goalposts. How do you like that one? And it's going to be at the 7-yard line, 1st and 10, 8:13 remaining this quarter. Going from our left to right are the Nicky Rowe Warriors. Back in motion from right to left, only back lined up wide. And this time right up the middle with the ball. Looks like it is, well, actually the quarterback keeps it. It's going to be Jesus Sanchez. Quarterback keeper. Sanchez can run the ball, though last week he had -1 yards rushing on 5 carries, but
You were going against Cal Allen on that.
What's that?
But you were going against Cal Allen.
Yeah.
Last.
Well, we're talking.
Oh, excuse me, for Nicky Rowe. You were going against Edinburgh last week, so you would have thought he would have got more yards. Excuse me. But right now, look for this little misdirection here.
No gain, 2nd and 7. Motion toward the right, slot on the left, and this time dumped off in the backfield, and not much doing at all. Practically no gain.
Would not be fooled.
Defense wouldn't be fooled.
Brings up 3rd down.
So it's going to be 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 9.
And they did bring a misdirection. They wanted everybody to think it was going to go to the right side of the field, and they dump it off on the inside to the running back, but everybody was, or excuse me, to the slot receiver, and everybody was covered.
So good job by the Tiger defense. Looked like Jose Villarreal was among those in on the tackle. 3rd down and 8 at the 8. Sanchez back to pass. Tries to get it down to the 40-yard line again. Double or triple coverage against the back. And on the reception, or on the intended reception, was Adrian Burnell. Again, we mentioned the first half. He's their utility guy. Lines up in the slot, lines up all over the field. Kind of a Wes Welker type, according to Bobby Flores, head coach of Nicky Rowe.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting here. Mercedes need to get the ball in great field position. Do you go after this one? And it looks like Rowe's going to put.
Now they got one back around the 45-yard line in.
Yeah, they're bringing the heat.
Yeah.
They're going to bring the heat on this one.
Sanchez will be the punter. He does all the kicking as well as quarterbacking. Gets it off at his goal line, and the ball will bounce at about the 40. It's picked up at the 45, and the back is just tattooed.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
I believe it was Joe Garcia.
And that's a tough spot for a returner right there. You don't know if you should come up on it. The defense is coming pretty hard. But you don't want to give up those yards either.
Right. So a nice play. It might have been Delgado. I'm not sure who made the stop. 1st and 10 at the 45. 6:49 remaining. Good field position for the Tigers at the 45-yard line of Nicky Rowe. And Fabian Ledesma will run around the left side. Thought about going up left tackle. Ran out. Got down to about the 40. Pick up a 5 on the play. Looked like among those in on the tackle were Eric Puente. Also, number 7, Alex Lopez, a defensive back, is Lopez. And Puente is a linebacker. So it'll be 2nd down and 4 at the 39-yard line. Second possession of the second half for the Mercedes Tiger. And rolling out on the right side is Ledesma. Gets it off near 1st down territory. Nice catch. Now it was Nate Hernandez on the stop. And on the reception, it happened to be Arbina. So Richard Arbina on the reception. It's going to be 3rd and short. Picks up pretty good yardage on that play. You always want a manageable 3rd down. Can't do much better if you're on 3rd down than 3rd and 1. Ball is down at the 36-yard line of the Tigers. 6:03 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Trips left. One back in the backfield with the quarterback.
And see, that's
Ledesma,
the hard part.
And Fabian Ledesma goes ahead off right tackle. Go ahead.
That's the hard part when you go into the shotgun right there. When you want to get in short yardage, third and short, and you've got to run out of that. It's sometimes very hard to complete those short runs right there. And you saw it right there. So we'll have to see if they go back into that or if they roll out Ledesma and let him use his legs.
Eric Puente, the linebacker, in on the stop. No gain on that play for Ledesma, Fabian Ledesma. 4th and 1 at the 36. Big play coming up for the Mercedes Tigers. And this time the quarterback, Mark Ledesma, will keep it, runs around the right side. Easy 1st down, goes out of bounds near the 27-yard line, gains about 9 on that play.
Yeah, great play on that one. Yeah. Fabian Ledesma, what they did was they just basically used Fabian Ledesma as a fullback. They make Mark Ledesma hit the running back, and he just picks up the linebacker, and it frees him up for the 1st down.
Ball at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock running. Pretty fast 3rd quarter so far. Down to about 5 minutes remaining. Still, Rowe leading over the Tigers 10-7. No score so far here in the second half. trips on the left side, one wide out right, one back in the backfield with Ledesma. Ball down to the 20-yard line, double team the receiver, but he gets the catch. Nice threading the needle. But the receiver is down. We'll have to see who
Yeah,
it
he
is.
took a hit on that play.
We'll see who.
Number 6 on the stop for the Rowe.
On the stop was Jose Barrera.
On the reception,
He was their second leading tackler last year at defensive back.
number 15.
It looks like Joe Garcia may.
Garcia.
Joe Garcia was the player shaken
Yeah,
up.
it looked like he got twisted around
Yeah.
on that tackle. It looks like two guys.
And he's limping off. And now he's taking the pressure off his right leg, and they're helping him off. Got two people helping him off. That's not good. Garcia, of course, had the one touchdown last week. A very valuable member of this team. Plays special teams.
And now you have to slide Urbina into his spot.
Right. So let's hope it's nothing serious. But again, you hate to see a player coming off when he doesn't have pressure on the leg as they help him
Yeah,
off.
and right now he's scooting.
Yeah.
But it could be, it looks like it's cramp.
All right, well, let's hope it's just that. 2nd down and 2 at the 20 following that play. And this time, faking going forward and going left is Ledesma, Fabian Ledesma, and he'll get over the 20. And he gets the first down at about the 18-yard line, it looks
Yeah,
like.
there's a good job with the stiff arm right there. It just allows him a little bit more wiggle room to get those needed yards.
Brings up third down.
Well, actually, it was a little short.
Oh,
Thought he
did
had
I?
it, but 3rd and 1.
Thought he had, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess his knee went down. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 at the 19. Did not get past the 18 like we thought he did.
And they're going to bring in, they have two backs right there.
One kind of in a wing almost, isn't it?
Yep. But
And
just to block.
Just a block, right. And keeping the ball is the quarterback, Ledesma, and he's thrown for a loss back to about the 21-yard line. Quarterback keeper, a loss of a yard or two. So it's going to bring up 4th down. Loss of 2.
Yeah.
Number 40, Nate Hernandez.
Eric Puente in on the stop. I think Nate Hernandez may have helped out too.
Yeah, defense did a great job
Yeah.
right there. They read where the ball was going. They had two blockers to that side.
Okay, 4th and 3 at the 21. Obviously, you go for it. Got a back on either side of the quarterback. Mark Ledesma, slot right, one wide out left. Dropping back is Ledesma. He'll drop it off on a screen to the right and nothing doing at all. Back knocked down for about another loss, a big loss, maybe of about 6, 7, 8 yards. So,
This has been the theme the last two weeks, just the second half, just trying to get that score. I really think that, though, that once they get that score in the second half, it's just going to open up the floodgates. This offense is too good to score one touchdown in the first half and nothing in the second. So I really think that they're going to get a couple touchdowns in the second half.
So the ball went back to the 31-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 now for Nicky Rowe at their own 31. Jesus Sanchez throws a pass, gets down to about the 37-yard line.
Number 32.
It was to his back coming out of the backfield, and that was Radel Garcia. And among those on the top, Valentin Lopez, a defensive lineman, a junior, one of those talented juniors, number 52. So it's going to be 2nd down and 3, gain of 7 on the play. Ball at the 38-yard line. Motion toward the left. Ball will be handed off. Short gain to the 40. Going to be a yard short of the first down by Garcia. Clock running, under 2 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Number 10 on the carry, Gustavo Salazar. Stopped short by
And
1
a
yard.
correction, it was a different back this time,
Third down,
Gustavo Salazar.
at the 40-yard line.
So it was Gustavo Salazar on the run, and he is a senior running back. 3rd and 1 now at the 40. And this time, maybe the quarterback keeper. We'll see, or is it Garcia? Let's look.
32 on
Yes,
the
it was
carry.
Garcia. And Garcia looks to be short again. So great job by the defensive line.
Yeah, as long as Mercedes' defense isn't out there as much as they were last week against Cal Allen, you're going to give the offense more chances.
Number 18, Joel Gomez.
So far, we really haven't seen that interception from Mercedes to really spark the offense.
Right. Joel Gomez and I think Brian Smith were among those in on that tackle, multiple tacklers on that play. 4th and 1 at the 40 for Nicky Rowe. And this time again to the back. Nothing doing. I'm telling you, that defense has come up strong. 3 consecutive plays like that.
But the question is this a first down?
Okay.
The referee on the opposite side near the sticks
All right.
is right at the line. It looks like he's a little bit above.
Well, they went right side that time, right tackle. Clock stopped with 1:02 remaining while they take a measurement. See what they can do here. And again, Garcia, we've talked about him. Last week, he ran for 98 yards on 16 carries, averaged over 6 yards a carry, also scored a touchdown. He was the leading rusher for Nicky Rowe. Nate Hernandez had 8 carries for 43 yards. And those were the basic runners for the team. By the way, next week, it's going to be Brownsville Porter, the opponent for Nicky Rowe, while our Tigers will be on the road to Weslaco, first road game of the year.
It'll be
First and 10 after the measurement.
For Nicky Rowe. Once again, the winner
Talked
of
to Tony Villarreal, the head coach at Weslaco this week, and their team lost to George Ranch 38-0, but they were the 5A Division I state champs last year. And he said he thought he saw a lot of good things from his team, some lack of execution at times, and some sophomore mistakes in the second half that led to several big plays. But overall, I think Coach Villarreal was pretty pleased with what he saw from Weslaco. Enjoyed talking with him, by the way, this week too. All right, first down and 10 for Nicky Rowe. And Sanchez has the ball, rolls left, has a wide receiver wide open at the 32-yard line, and he is going to go to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and he looks like he's in for a touchdown. And from this angle, it looks like it's Adrian Burnell. And if it is a touchdown, it'll be 41 yards. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and there was roughing the passer on the other side.
Okay.
But looks like they're going to pick that flag up, I think.
Yes. But again, from our initial view, it looked like it was Burnell with the reception. And it looked like Burnell went 41 yards for the touchdown, giving Rowe a 16-7 lead. Burnell had 8 catches last week. So, penalty declined, right, Jake?
Yeah, the penalty is going to be declined. Or actually, I think they're going to the coaches right now.
It was against Mercedes.
Yeah.
And again, last week, Jesus Sanchez threw for a pair of touchdowns. Now he's already thrown for 2 in this game. Waiting to see the extra point attempt to come up. Zach Gomez again not playing tonight.
Once again, the San Tiger Booster Club.
So we do have at quarterback Mark Ledesma. We saw him in the scrimmage. Did a nice job in the scrimmage a couple weeks ago.
Winning ticket number 4267.
Again, last week it was a 30-14 win for the Warriors over Edinburgh. Remember last year, they led the 36A district in passing with 2,483 yards, but were last in rushing for 842. Still can pass the ball, but tonight, Jake showing a little more balance. I think they'll get a lot more than 842 yards.
Yeah, I think so
year.
too.
Maybe not as much as 2,500 yards passing, but it'll be more balanced, and I think that's what the new head coach, Bobby Flores, wants. Extra point attempt coming up again, Rowe right now, leading 16-7. Jesus Sanchez does all the kicking duties as well as quarterback. Had a 13-yard field goal earlier in the game. Extra point attempt is up, and it's good. So, with 43 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, it is now Rowe over Mercedes by the score of 17-7.
And here's the instant replay.
Mistakes in the second half.
You'll see on this play.
Plays. But overall, I think Coach Villarreal
probably should
was
edit it a little bit
pleased
better.
with what he saw from Weslaco. Enjoyed talking with him, by the way, this week.
He's going to get trucked.
All right, first
right
down
as
and
he
10
throws
for
the
Nicky
ball.
Rowe. And Sanchez has the ball, rolls left, has a wide receiver wide open at the 32-yard line, and he is going to go to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and he looks like he's in for a touchdown. And from this angle, it looks like it's Adrian. 8 catches for 67 yards.
Mercedes Tigers Booster Club.
And doing a good job this week, too.
Sponsoring the helmet, Stephen Reyes Body.
Very versatile player, as Coach Flores told us last week.
426770.
So awaiting the kickoff.
Come to the press box and claim your helmet.
Again, like I said, we'll be at Weslaco next week. And West Lakota tonight is playing San Antonio Marshall. And I talked to Coach Villarreal, and I said, how do you think you'll do? He says, when do anybody win against San Antonio teams anyhow? He said, does that answer that? He was having a little tongue-in-cheek, but obviously he's going up there and give the best effort. But he says it's always tough to win when you have to go up to San Antonio or play him anywhere. And you know that, Jake, from following football here in the Valley for many years. But that's a good tune-up when you have teams like George Ranch and Marshall early in your schedule. All right, little onside kick there. And ball, is it recovered by Nicky Rowe? They seem to be excited.
By number 10.
All right. It was recovered by Gustavo Salazar. We saw him at running back a few minutes ago. And he recovers the onside kick inside Nicky Rowe territory at about the 38-yard line. We've seen a few onside kicks this year already. Some go good for the Tigers. This one does not. Ball will be marked at the 37 of the Tigers. Again, Rowe going from our left to right here in the third quarter. Only 43 seconds remaining. And remember, second half was bad for the Tigers last week. They were tied at 7-all against Cal Allen after the first half. Short gain that time down to the 35. And that time it was Garcia. And on that stop, Roger Adame.
And the Warriors are going to run this clock down with 25 seconds left. They can run this down and start the fourth quarter, but we'll see if they want to.
Second down and 8, ball at the 35-yard line. 18 seconds remaining. Motion to the right. And this time Sanchez will keep. Misdirection to the left. Gets out at the 30. A little short of the first down. You like all that motion and misdirection. I think you said you did in the
I
first
do.
half.
I what I like about it is that it opens lanes. And on that one, it looked like everybody was going with the running back there. It freed him up on the left side. With 11 seconds left, they're going to keep going with this.
All right, 3rd and 4 at the 30-yard line. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. Clock is stopped momentarily with the out-of-bounds play. This time it'll go up the middle. Not much there, maybe to the 30-yard line. A bunch of tacklers there for Mercedes. It'll be 4th and 4. And after 3 quarters of play, it is 17-7. The Tigers trailing Nicky Rowe. And very balanced tackling last week. We'll have a moment here. There were a bunch of guys that had 9 solo tackles and 3 assists for a total of 12. That included Roger Adame III, Raul Ortega. He was also 13. Excuse me, I'm sorry, he was the leading tackler, Raul. He had 13 tackles, 8 solo, and 5 assists. So he was the leading tackler, but a bunch of guys had 12 with 9 solo and 3 assists, and that included Roger Adame III, also Brian Smith, Eric Hanosa, and Sebastian De Leon. Now with 11 tackles, 10 solo and 1 assist was Joel Gomez. And those were some of the guys in double figures. Also with 8 solo and 3 assists, Ivan Vela. So that looked pretty good with sacks last week. Roger Adame had 1.5 sacks. Ronaldo Racon had 1 sack. Brian Smith had 1 sack. Joe Villarreal had 1 sack. And Sebastian De Leon had 1 sack. So there was some good defensive efforts. A lot of guys in double digits for tackles last week. That showed a lot of balance on defense.
Yeah, the defense was out there a long time. So.
Now back to fourth quarter action. Not much going there, and a flag.
Yeah, that could have been something beautiful there. We'll see what the call is.
Right, 4th down and 4 at the 31 for Rowe. But on the first play of the second, or actually of the fourth quarter, there is a flag on the play. False start offense. So it'll be 4th and 9. And if you could, Jake, could you give some of the scores from last night?
Yeah, Mackay defeated PSA Memorial 28-0. PSA North upended Donna High 27-6. Harlingen South continue their hot streak 35-27. And Lopez defeats Edinburgh 20-15.
Thank you, Jake. So it's going to be 4th and 9 at the 36-yard line. Garcia comes out of the backfield, motion toward the right side. And before the play gets off, there is a whistle. You think that was a illegal motion by Garcia?
It looked like it.
The way he ran. Actually, it was against another player. It was against the tight end, Freddie Ayala. So false start by him. 4th and 14 at the 41. Any surprises on those scores last night, Jake?
No, a surprising score right now is that Vela and Edcow Chelsea are tied at 21, and Westlake East and has evened the score up with McCallum Memorial 29 apiece. So, now last night was pretty much cut and dry. I mean, Harlan's just south of PSJ. You don't really know what you're going to get. But for the most part, everybody else.
And Sanchez is going to punt near midfield. One back around the goal line. Looks like almost touched it, but didn't. Thank goodness. It'll go into the end zone for a touchback. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 20-yard line, moving from our left to right here in the 4th quarter. And as far as I know, a couple players that have gone out in this game with injuries have not come back for Mercedes, and that is not a good sign. Have not seen Joe Garcia, I don't think, back in here yet. And David Gobian, he was injured on the opening kickoff of the game. I don't think he's been back in as far as I know. So 1st and 10 at the 20, again, spread formation as usual. Ball is dropped off near the 22-yard line. Looks like it's Urbina, and won't be much gain there, maybe about 2. So Urbina gets a couple yards on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And Urbina's going to have to come up big right now.
Urbina lined up on the right side, trips on the left. The 2 Ledesmas in the backfield, Francisco and Mark, will pass ahead. Okay, Joe Garcia's back in.
Yeah,
so that's
it was a
sign.
cramp. It was a cramp when he came out.
I think it might even been him on the kickoff, punt return, I'm sorry. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 on that play. Garcia gets up within a yard of the first down to the 28. 10:47 remaining, 17-7, Rowe leading. High snap, and Sanchez, Ledesma will get it, gives it off to Fabian Ledesma. And he does not get much on the play. It'll be a loss of 1 on the play. So Fabian Ledesma loses 1 on the play. Nate Hernandez, who plays both offense and defense, among those in on the tackle. It's going to be 4th down. Ball at the 29. We'll say no gain on the play, and the Tigers will go for it. Slots on each side. Fabian Ledesma in the backfield with the quarterback, and now he'll decide to do the pooch kick. And there was no one in the back to return the punt, so it will roll down to about the 20. And that play looked like the defense was more concerned about them going for it on 4th and 1 than trying to set up a punt return.
At this point, you have a big enough lead. You don't need to go for the kick, the punt return. You know, you want to just play it safe. And with this Mercedes offense, you never know when they're going to explode.
So the ball is back at the 21-yard line. Again, 9:54 to go. Trailing by 10 points right now are the Mercedes Tigers, not wanting to lose their first 2 games at home of the season. Rowe with the ball. Wide out on the left side in motion to the right. Sanchez has the ball. Jesus Sanchez tries to drop it off. A lot of pressure. Throws it into the dirt, so to speak, at the 20-yard line. So Jesus felt the pressure, just kind of grounded it, really.
Hey, it's a smart play. In the first half, you would have liked to see Ledesma do that on a couple plays. You throw it away. You don't want to take that sack.
And good news, at least for Mercedes fans, because the ball didn't go anywhere. The clock stops, and that is good news. By the way, Mark Ledesma last week as a receiver, what kind of athlete he is, he caught 3 passes for 56 yards. Of course, that long reception on the scoring drive of 41. And this time, it's going to be Garcia going around the left side, and he is going to get up to about the 24, 23-yard line.
Yeah, it's about a 2-yard gain there. What Rowe wants to do right now is just eat the clock up. You have a 10-point lead right now with 9:28 left on the clock. Just run the time down and try to make every possession for Mercedes quick.
Ivan Vela on the tackle. This time, Sanchez fakes a handoff to the back in motion from the left side and has a receiver wide open around the 40-yard line and overthrows him. Again, this is the guy that had the touchdown just a few minutes ago. Adrian Burnell, he was wide open at about the 45-yard line of Mercedes, and I think if he'd have caught it, Jake, he'd have gone all the way.
Oh, I think so, too. He was wide open right at midfield, right around the paw.
Yeah.
And
the Clemson-looking paw.
Yeah, nothing was in front of him.
You know, it's funny that the Mercedes has the Clemson-looking paw, but yet it's Nicky Rowe that runs more of a Clemson-type offense. And they admit it. I mean, that's what they told me. They base a lot of their offense on Clemson. All right, punt coming up on 4th down.
That's
Jesus
a great
Sanchez.
punt.
It was 4th and 7 from the 23 prior to that play. Now the ball will roll inside the 35-yard line.
Ball at the 34-yard.
It'll be marked at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Mercedes Tigers with 9:01 remaining.
And an eternity for Mercedes. You have so much time right now. You're only down 10 points. With this offense, although we've been saying it for a while, we wanted to, you know that this team can score.
Mm-hmm.
Year in and year out, they're just one of the most explosive teams in the Valley. I think we're just waiting for it to happen.
All right. Slot on the right. Hand off to Fabian Ledesma. Ledesma will run to about the 40-yard line around the right side, and he will gain about 5 on that play.
Taking it to the 40-yard line on the stop. 31, Ricardo Olivares.
On the stop, Ricardo Alvarez. He is a senior linebacker. 2nd down and 5 at the 40. 8:35 remaining. Again, 10-point lead for Rowe over the Mercedes Tigers. We have trips on the right side. Back in the backfield, blocking for Jesus, and does get a significant block to prevent a sack, but the pass is incomplete down about the 35, overthrew the receiver. And it was Richard Urbina, the intended receiver.
Defensively, number 20, Salazar. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 5.
And it was Carlos Salazar back on defense, number 20. We've called his number a few times tonight. So it'll be 3rd and 5 at the 40. Trips left. Mark Ledesma calling the signals, rolls to his left, looks down the left side. Looked like he had a man open for a second, and he caught him. He got tattooed as he caught the pass at the 45-yard line. Great reception.
Number 15,
Joe Garcia, the guy that got shaken up earlier.
Let's take a look at that
to his
one.
Left. Yeah.
On that play,
looks down the left side.
he just
Like
gets
he had a
lit
man
up
open for a
as he
second,
gets
and he
the ball,
caught
and
him.
he
He
hangs
got
onto it.
tattooed
Great
as he
play
caught
by
the
Joe
pass.
Garcia.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Rolling to his right this time is Ledesma. Has a receiver at the 30, and it will be a 1st down, gain of about 12 yards. So,
thrown by Ledesma. Number 15,
and it was Joe Garcia again.
Garcia on the reception.
So he got about a 12-yard gain last time.
Brandon Leal. Yardage is good for a
Last week, Joe Garcia had 3 catches for 15 yards, including a 10-yard reception. Has more catches than that tonight. It is going to be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of Nicky Rowe. Rolling to his right again is the quarterback, and he finds his receiver in the end zone. 30-yard touchdown pass. Big pass play. Touchdown for the Tigers. I believe it was his brother. No, it was Richard Urbina.
Yeah, and you know what? We said it. Urbina had to come up big when Joe Garcia went down.
Yeah.
And you were just waiting for him to find something.
That's right. Big touchdown pass by Urbina. Nice catch on that play. So it is now a 4-point lead for Nicky Rowe. Extra point attempt up, and it is good. And we tried to clarify the extra points. It's Emmanuel Moreo who does the kicking for extra points. And as far as kickoffs, Alex Ramos, I believe, does kickoffs. I think we've clarified that. So, Richard Urbina on the touchdown. with 7:40. And it is now 17-14. The Mercedes Tigers only trailing by 3. And 2 touchdown passes on the night now for Mark Ledesma.
Yeah,
It's tough to come in, not knowing maybe earlier in the week that you're going to be quarterback starting, then find out you are going to start at least sometime during the week and have to be ready for it. Obviously, he is the backup. He trains for it, but primarily his use as receiver.
Yeah.
So you have to be impressed that this young man has come in and done as well as he has.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's just taking a little bit more time, and now he's starting to find his rhythm right now. You see these passes that he's hitting, they're not easy passes by any means. And he's doing this on the rollout too, so he's not sitting in the pocket with protection all around him. He's having to do this on the go.
So fans coming to life, as usual, a good crowd here for the Tigers. Also Nicky Rowe traveling over from McAllen, bringing a bunch of people too. Appreciate both the coaches, Coach Adame and also Coach Flores, for being kind with us this week and talking with us prior to the game. Pooch kick by Ramos, and it's kind of knocked around there a bit, but I think it is recovered by Nicky Rowe.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be able to scoop it up, but
right about the 35-yard line of Nicky Rowe.
Yeah, and this is what your normal kicks usually get you around the 35, the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
So nothing lost right now for Mercedes, and actually now Nicky Rowe has to do something with the ball. They can't just chew clock up. They're going to have to find a score because this Mercedes team looks like they're ready to score again.
Well, you can even hear just in the crowd, the music's going. You hear the band with the drums. You just feel a lot of energy from the Mercedes side of the field right now. Nicky Rowe hands it off. Raudel Garcia has it, spins his way to about the 40-yard line off right tackle, gets about 6 on the play.
Yeah, that's a great first down run right there. You give your team a chance to run play action on the second play right here.
And Joel Gomez among those in on the tackle for the homestanding Tigers. 2nd and 4 at the 40, clock running, approaching the 7-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Tigers trail by 3. Jesus Sanchez throws it on the right side, and we'll pick up about 3 with the pass caught. So still be short of the first down.
Yeah,
Clock running under 7 minutes.
And Garcia's doing a good job right now. That catch that he just had right there was a little one-handed catch behind him. Was able to
Garcia
scoop
can
it
run
in.
the ball or catch the ball. Raudel Garcia. Again, 3rd and 1 at the 43. And the ball will go ahead this time. And it will go all the way to the 50. So Garcia again keeps the ball and gains 7 right up the middle. And that was really a battle of the lines. That time won by Nicky Rowe. 1st and 10. Again, Joel Gomez in on the stop for Mercedes, a defensive back, a senior. Clock approaching the 6-minute mark. Back in motion. Right to left. This time, the ball is handed off, and it will go down to the 30, the 25, 20, 15, 10, and we'll see if the back got into the end zone. It was close. Looked like it was Hector Ramirez at the 6-yard line, knocked out.
And there were about 6 guys around him when he got that little toss on the inside. I don't know how he got back to the outside, but he was able to.
Well, Hector Ramirez listed as a wide receiver.
Incredible cutback.
Yeah. So big gain of 44 yards on that play. This time handoff up the middle to Garcia. Gets about a yard, not much going. Let's talk a little bit about that big play, Jake, how you saw it.
Well, what happened was the cutback lane was there just because everybody missed the tackle on the inside. Mm-hmm. And there's no corner out there, and he basically was free to run all the way to the right side.
And maybe his first run of the night. So this time a quarterback keeper, and running around the right side for the touchdown is Jesus Sanchez. So a 6-yard run by Sanchez gives another touchdown to Nicky Rowe. Sanchez has thrown for a couple touchdowns, I believe, and now has run for one. And with 5:34 remaining here in regulation, fourth quarter, 23-14. Nicky Rowe is ahead. Extra point attempt coming up. And, of course, Sanchez is also the kicker, trying to increase the lead for his team. And now there's a flag. We'll have to see what the call is. False start against the offense. So the kicking team is moved back 5 yards. And we'll get another chance, or get a chance, but from farther back, to kick that extra point. We'll have to see how good a kicker the quarterback is. Obviously, he's done his job at quarterback tonight. And the extra point attempt is up, and it's good. So with 5:34 remaining in regulation, now a 10-point lead again for Rowe, 24-14. On the 6-yard run by Sanchez. Of course, Mercedes is a very explosive team. Around here, it's never over till it's over. So we'll just wait and see what he can do. Sanchez last year completed 73 out of 110 pass attempts for 948 yards, including 9 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So he does have experience. This is not his first go-around playing quarterback. He did some last year. And trying to keep his team rolling here. And again, Mercedes is explosive and will not give up.
And 5:34 on the clock. I mean, there's still time. Your defense is going to have to come in and play harder. We talked about it last week. They were on the field a ton. The offense has played well tonight, and they've given them some rest.
Yeah, there has been a little better job on that this week for sure, as far as people getting rest and getting more chance for the offense to be on the field because of being able to move the ball. Rowe getting ready to kick off. It'll be Sanchez, and he'll try to kick it away from the deep backs. The ball will be down, it looks like, around the 22-yard line. And if that's the case, it'll be 1st and 10 with 88 yards to go for a touchdown.
Looks like there's probably going to be a re-kick on this one.
All right.
Looks like Rowe was offsides on this one.
So, Nicky Rowe, again, with a more attacking defense this year. Even though they're ahead, I think they'll still be aggressive. I don't think that will change what they're going to do. And, we've seen some good plays at wide receiver by Richard Urbina. Richard Urbina. And also Joe Garcia. So, again, they still have multiple weapons out there, even though, and of course there's Matthew Ledesma too. Even though Mark Ledesma can't play receiver tonight because he has to play quarterback, he still has, or the team has, the Mercedes still has plenty of offensive weapons. And let's not forget that Fabian Ledesma caught a 29-yard touchdown pass earlier in the game out of the backfield. So multiple weapons out there for Mercedes as they try to stay in this game. And I guess when it's all said and done, they'll get the ball at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. We have trips on the right side. And to the slot, the pass goes there on the right side. And there'll be a pickup of about 4 or 5 yards, and that's going to be all. Going to need longer passes than that with the time. Joe Garcia on the reception.
Reception by Garcia on the tackle.
Frank Delgado, their best tackler, in on the tackle, holds Garcia to a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 6 at the 32.
And they're finishing off their tackles. You're seeing Nicky Rowe pummel whoever has the ball, and they're doing a good job of finishing each tackle. It's just they played a complete game.
Again, passing ball and intercepted that time, and now fumbled, and the ball is down at about the 20. So an interception by Nicky Rowe of Ledesma, but then the ball is fumbled away, and it looks like maybe Nicky kept the ball, Nicky Rowe.
Fumbled, recovered by the Warriors.
So the Warriors have it.
1st and 10 from the 20.
1st and 10 at the 20. Not sure who made the interception. It was at the far end of the field. But we do know that it was recovered when it was all said and done by Nicky Rowe.
Yeah, and
No turnovers last week, but now they're becoming a problem here, especially late in the game with only 4:48 remaining.
and that's what happens when you throw in somebody at quarterback that you probably would be better suited if he was at receiver for you.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the absence of Gomez, he's having to fill that need right now. But, he did such a tremendous job at wide receiver last week. It kind of hurts them.
All right, ball's moving back to the 35-yard line. Did you see a flag?
No, I didn't. Unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Nicky Rowe. So they will start the ball back there.
15 yards.
And it's going to be against Frank Delgado, the senior linebacker. 4:48 again remaining. Rowe leading 24-14 over the Tigers. Motion right to left. Garcia up the middle. We'll get 3 or 4 yards. You just hand it to Garcia and try to run the clock down, Jake?
Yeah, you chew this clock up right now. I think at this point right now with 4 minutes left, if you get it within 2 minutes, it's a safe game.
Number 56 for the Tiger defense.
Anything can happen, though. I'm just looking at Sherrilyn. Sherrilyn is now leading Edinburgh after giving up 14 points in about little under a minute.
Ronaldo Rincon in on the tackle. Defensive lineman, junior. 2nd and 6 at the 31-yard line. Garcia again gets about 1 yard on the play, and that's all. The defensive line up to the task.
Third down, 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6. Clock under 4 minutes remaining. Both teams have their full complement of 3 timeouts. And I guess if you're the Tigers, you may have to start thinking of using them pretty soon. Clock will be down under 3:40 by the time this ball is snapped off again. Rowe in no hurry to do things. And this time the ball's fumbled, and it's picked up by the Tigers. It seemed like it was laying on the ground for 2 or 3 seconds. Now it's being fumbled again, and we don't know who has it. It looks like finally the Tigers might have it. And one of the Tigers picks up the ball and starts running down the field. So a little sloppy play near the end here, Jake.
Yeah, well, we'll see right now what the referees say who retains possession on this
the
one.
The ball laid at the middle of the field
Yeah.
there for looked like 2 or 3 seconds. I know it wasn't that long, but it just seemed like an eternity. The ball was just sitting there, and it's recovered by the Tigers. So a break for the Tigers. They lose the ball.
Yeah, they needed something fortunate to happen right now. And you look at it right now, they're at midfield with 3 minutes and 20 seconds. This team can score. They've got to score fast and get the ball back.
So the ball is at the 45-yard line for the Tigers. 3:20 remaining. Again, they have all 3 timeouts. Lost the fumble, or actually lost the ball, turned it over a few minutes ago, but now get it right back. It was an interception for Nicky Rowe. Ball got down to the 15, but then moved back to the 30 on a penalty. But then on the fumble, moments later, Tigers get it at their own 45. Mark Ledesma back to pass, looks downfield, double coverage, but there is a flag. Double coverage on the receiver around the 23-yard line.
And you don't get anything better than that because it moves 15 yards and the clock stops right there.
It looked like the intended receiver on that play may have been Matthew Ledesma. He was double covered, but again, a little too much coverage, so to speak. A little interference.
The penalty will be costing the defense some yardage. Every first and 10. Ball at the 40-yard line.
Pass. Looks like Jose Barrera called for the penalty, number 6. Ball will be moved to the 40-yard line of Nicky Rowe. 3:14 remaining here in the 4th. Ledesma keeps it himself, goes off right tackle, and will be tripped up at about the 35-yard line, gain of about 6 yards. So it'll be second of 4 or 5 yards. Nate Hernandez in on the stop. Defensive lineman. Under 3 minutes remaining. 2nd down and 5. Ball at the 35-yard line. Need to score fast. Be within at least a field goal or a touchdown of tying the game. And Ledesma will pass ahead down to the 25-yard line. Good enough for the first down. Pickup of about 15. I believe that was his brother.
And it's a great play by him. He sat down in the pocket right there. There was a hole in the middle of the zone right there. Able to just sit there and wait for that ball to get in there.
So 1st and 10. Clock running. Under 2:25 remaining here in the 4th. Trips on the left side. Urbina lined up on the right. Back to pass is Ledesma. Now he takes it down under his wing and will be dropped at about the 23-yard line. Short gain of the play of about 2 yards. You have 3 timeouts left. Clock getting down to about 2.
Maybe you've got to move
time.
here.
Either move it or use a timeout, maybe to regroup. All right, again, trips on the left side, wide out right. 1 back in the backfield. Fabian Ledesma guarding the quarterback, and now Sanchez will overthrow his receiver in the end zone. 3rd down coming up. It'll be 3rd and 7 at the 23.
And here's the problem that you face right now. You're at 3rd and 7. If you don't get the first down here, do you kick the field goal or do you try for that score?
It's a pretty long field goal. That'd be about a 40-yarder. 3rd and 7 at the 23. Ledesma straight back to pass. Has a receiver open around the 12-yard line. And we'll have to see if that's a first down. It is. Nice pass. Jose Barrera on the stop. I believe it might have been Garcia. It is 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. This time pass over to about the 10-yard line, short gain, and the back goes out of bounds.
And the clock's in a run right now, and it looks like Mercedes is going to have to call a timeout.
And it looks like the reception was maybe by Ledesma. Gustavo Salazar in on the tackle. So the ball is down at the 12-yard line, no gain, 2nd down and 10. 1 timeout used by the Tigers. 2 remain, 1:18 remaining here in regulation. And the Tigers are trailing right now, 20-14 over Nicky Rowe. Remember, next week, Tigers on the road to Weslaco. And Brownsville Porter is where Nicky Rowe travels. Porter, pretty good team?
They're going to struggle this year. They made the playoffs last year, but graduated a lot of talent. And this was a team that Coach Campos over there, you know, he was the offensive coordinator when Hannah was good, and then he got Porter into the playoffs.
All right, again, 2nd down and 8 they call it at the 10, so that's what they call it. Gain of about 2 on that last play on the short reception. And with the ball looking left is Sanchez, and tries to get it to a sliding receiver right near the goal line, and the pass is a little low, incomplete. 3rd down. 3rd and 8. 1:15 remaining. Looked like, again, it might have been Garcia. 3rd and 8. Ball at the 10-yard line. And Sanchez gets away from one defender. He'll keep it, and he's going to be thrown for a loss around the 12-yard line. We'll have to see if the clock stopped. It isn't.
Yeah, and Ledesma, nowhere to go on that play. Nicky Rowe had blown up the line, and they were in his grill the whole time.
So timeout has to be called. It's going to be 4th down and 8 at the 10-yard line. No gain. 1:03 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Again, 10-point lead for Rowe. And now I feel you do have to go for the field goal. You were talking about it before. I thought it was a little long.
Yeah, now you're in position right here. Yeah.
Yeah. But here I think you have to go for it. We'll see what coach decides to do. Roger Adame Jr., his son, of course, defensive standout at linebacker. Roger Adame III. His father, another former coach. Enjoyed meeting him a couple weeks ago. Well, they're going to go for it. No field goal. They're going to go. Now, we'll see if any other timeouts are called. No, they're going to go for it. And back to pass with a lot of pressure is Sanchez. And it looks like he hit his receiver in the end zone. Let's see. Is it a touchdown?
Yes, it is.
All right. 11-yard touchdown. On the far side of the field. We'll try to catch the receiver if we can. It was Joe Garcia. Joe Garcia with the touchdown.
Number 15, Joe Garcia on the reception. Extra point to come.
So Joe Garcia, who had a 10-yard touchdown reception last week, had a lot of catches tonight so far, has an 11-yard touchdown reception. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. With 57 seconds remaining, it is now 24-21. Nicky Rowe leading.
And here's that play, Joe. Or I call you Joe. Excuse me, Scott.
Any other
as you see it
timeouts
right
are
here.
called? No, they're going to go for it. And back to
It's
pass
a
with a lot
fade
of
in the back of
pressure
the end zone.
is Sanchez. And it looks like he hit his
Beautiful
receiver
catch
in the
right
end
there,
zone.
and he
Let's
puts
see.
one foot down and gets that catch.
Is it a touchdown?
Yes, it is.
All right.
And,
11-yard
we've got a ball
touchdown.
game with
Yes.
57 seconds.
Well, Garcia is very talented. There's no doubt there. So, obviously the onside kick is coming up. I don't think there's any other option here. And we've seen, remember last week at the beginning of the second half against Cal Allen, we saw the Tigers do the onside kick and they recovered it. And they even moved it down to the 1-yard line. But again, as we've mentioned a couple times, due to bad luck, penalties and the such, they wound up moving back to midfield and didn't capitalize. That may have been the turning point in that game.
Yeah, and they're going to have to
get this. It was tied at 7.
And they're going to have to get this. With 57 seconds left and one timeout, not much you can do other than recover this.
No. All right, here comes the kick by Ramos. And it goes out of bounds, and there'll be a flag. Kicked it a little bit hard, wouldn't you say? That I guess that was the
They were
problem
looking
there.
to hit it off somebody's body,
Mm-hmm.
and just didn't happen there. The Rowe special teamers were pretty cognizant of that, and they actually just let it skip out of bounds on that play.
So, one timeout left for the Mercedes Tigers. 57 seconds left. What do you say to your team right now? You've been a coach in a situation like this, Jake.
Well,
If you're the Tigers.
it's if you're the Tigers, it's non-district. You know, this game in the long, in the grand scheme of things, is just a tune-up for the district play.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
But most people, though, did say Mercedes would win tonight. I was reading predictions in the newspaper, and
I thought they
people
were
making.
too. I thought Rowe played an Edinburgh team that didn't. That's
And you and
trying to find
Kevin
itself.
Notto, talk about, you have a show, right? You do now. You do predictions every week.
Yeah, the midweek grind.
Yeah.
And that goes up on Thursday
And
morning.
then you also have a prediction page that comes up on
Yeah, we do.
956sports.com. And I think you guys all picked Mercedes this week,
I
right?
picked Mercedes. I figured that they, played so well against Cal Allen.
All right.
this
Going
Rowe
for the
team.
knee, obviously, is Jesus Sanchez.
Brings up second down.
And that will bring up second down. 47 seconds clock is running. We'll have to see if Mercedes uses their final timeout. Impressions of this game?
I'm impressed with Rowe. Their offense and their defense seem pretty well coached. Looks like we're going to have a timeout finally by Mercedes.
Yeah. And there's going to be 35 seconds left when they take it. It will be second down 16. But continue, Jake.
Yeah, I'm just impressed with Coach Flotis' team. They're very, very well disciplined. Minus one personal foul penalty, but they're well coached, and their offense is more. It doesn't seem like they've lost a beat on offense, but their defense has really picked up the slack. And for Mercedes, the offense came around. We were looking for the offense to come around. They came around, but the defense gave up some points that we didn't think they were going to give up tonight. I wouldn't have thought 24 points. I would have thought maybe 14.
And keep in mind, their number one quarterback was unable to play tonight. Zach Gomez. Mark Ledesma did a nice job.
Yeah, he filled in nicely.
Yeah. Again, taking the knee, just getting ready to run this out. Mercedes cannot stop the clock again.
Congratulations going on to both schools.
And that will be it. Still 20 seconds remaining, but they'll run out the clock.
Rowe will move to 2-0. Mercedes will move to 0-2. But Rowe's got Porter around the corner.
Yes, Brownsville Porter.
And Weslaco for the Tigers. So, it doesn't get any easier for Mercedes as they have to play Weslaco.
And we've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and the game is officially over. 24-21, Rowe winning over Mercedes. Of course, a lot of plays tonight. Rowe got off early, 3-0. But then again, we had Fabian Ledesma coming back with a 29-yard reception for a touchdown. Freddie Ayala came up with a big play in the first half for Nicky Rowe, about a 15-yard touchdown. In the second half, Adrian Burnell had the 41-yard touchdown reception. Urbina had a big play, Richard Urbina for a touchdown. Obviously, Garcia had the touchdown late. Those are some of the highlights, 11-yard touchdown. So there were a lot of big plays for both teams. But in the long run, Rowe had just a little bit more and came out with the win. And, okay, you've seen Rowe before. One thing I do want to ask you, with the new coordinators coming in this year and taking over, what do you think of the new attacking defense of Nicky Rowe by Oscar Torres?
No, I think their defense is impressive. I think they really get after it. I think their offense is well balanced because they're running the ball a little bit more, and seems to be feeding the kids because they're living off this. They're explosive.
Well, Sean Tarantola is the new coordinator. Was in Mission last year from Washington, and again, he and Coach Flores talked about trying to have a balanced offense and do things, and I think they're doing it. And with Mercedes, like I said, we don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be next week, but regardless, I think they have to be encouraged if they do use Ledesma again, that he is a quality quarterback and he can get the job done. And I know Weslaco had a tough loss last week. They're the opponent coming up for Mercedes, but they lost to the defending 5A state champion, Division I, George Ranch. Probably going to lose this week, going up to San Antonio to play. Is Weslaco something, if you're a Mercedes fan, they need? Maybe a little
it's
bit
a
easier
rivalry game. You want to win the game.
Yeah.
Do you need the game necessarily? No. But do you want it? Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to go see Weslaco. We saw them last year. We broadcast that game when they played Donna. That was a big rivalry game, obviously. So we look to see Coach Tony Villarreal and get some of his hospitality as we do our first road game of the year.
Yeah.
Now, how difficult is it to go on a road game after 2 home losses? Does that mean much in non-division play?
I mean, you're talking about, it's like the Twin Cities of Minneapolis. It's so close that, it doesn't really feel like you're leaving. They're so close, it doesn't really feel like much difference.
All right. Well, Jake, anything you want to promote for 956sports.com or any final comments?
Sunday, check out, or Monday morning, check out Greg Selber and I, Dr. Greg Selber, as we talk Valley football. He's the author of Border Ball, so, you're not going to find anybody that knows more about Valley football than him.
And talk about upcoming your predictions and your show.
We got our predictions
this week.
on Thursday. Yeah, we have our predictions on Thursday. Or actually, Wednesday night, and his show, Midweek Grind, comes out on Thursday.
All right, and we said we'd talk a little maybe college and pro football during the year because I travel a lot. Tonight, I'll be traveling all night to Houston. I have to work for ESPN, Fox Radio, and also CBS Sports, doing updates for those 3 networks from the Oklahoma-Houston game tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Kicking off at 11 o'clock in the morning in Houston. So I'll be in work in like 12 hours back at NRG Stadium. But again, always enjoy doing the high school football. Jake, a pleasure working with you and everybody else here. I give credit to our crew, Jake.
Yeah, thanks to Ale for helping set up today. And Eric for running the camera today.
All right, we appreciate their job. And again, we want to wish everyone a good night from Mercedes, Texas. from Mercedes Tigers Stadium. Final score, it was Nicky Rowe's Warriors 24 in non-district action over the Mercedes Tigers, again 24-21. For Jake Berry, I'm Scott Harrison, wishing you a very safe and happy weekend, and join us for Mercedes football next Friday at 7:30 from Weslaco. Good night, everybody.